Emperor Qianlong's message to King George III, 1793. You, O King, from afar, have yearned after the blessings of our civilization, and in your eagerness to come into touch with our converting influence, have sent an embassy across the sea bearing a memorial. I have already taken note of your respectful spirit of submission, and have treated your mission with extreme favor and loaded it with gifts, besides issuing a mandate to you, O King, and honoring you with the bestowal of valuable presents. Thus has my indulgence been manifested. Yesterday, your ambassador petitioned my ministers to memorialize me regarding your trade with China, but this proposal is not consistent with our dynastic usage and cannot be entertained. Hitherto, all European nations, including your own country's barbarian merchants, have carried on their trade with our celestial empire at Canton. Such has been the procedure for many years, although our celestial empire possesses all things in prolific abundance and lacks no product within its own borders. There was therefore no need to import the manufactures of outside barbarians in exchange for our own produce. But as the tea, silk, and porcelain with which the Celestial Empire produces are absolute necessities to European nations and to yourselves, we have permitted, as a signal mark of favor, that foreign hongs, business organizations, should be established at Canton so that your wants might be supplied and your country thus participate in our beneficence. But your ambassador has now put forward new requests which completely fail to recognize the throne's principle to treat strangers from afar with indulgence, and to exercise a pacifying control over barbarian tribes the world over. Moreover, our dynasty, swaying with the myriad races of the globe, extends the same benevolence towards all. Your England is not the only nation trading at Canton. If other nations, following your bad example, wrongfully importune my ears with further impossible requests, how will it be possible for me to treat them with easy indulgence? Nevertheless, I do not forget the lonely remoteness of your island, cut off from the world by intervening wastes of sea, nor do I overlook your excusable ignorance of the usages of our celestial empire. I have consequently commanded my ministers to enlighten your ambassadors on the subject, and have ordered the departure of the mission. Your request for a small island near Chusan, where your merchants may reside and goods be warehoused, arises from your desire to develop trade. As there are neither foreign hongs nor interpreters in or near Chusan, where none of your ships have ever called, such an island would be utterly useless for your purposes. Every inch of the territory of our empire is marked on the map, and the strictest vigilance is exercised over it all. Even tiny islands and far-lying sandbanks are clearly defined as part of the provinces to which they belong. Consider, moreover, that England is not the only barbarian land which wishes to establish relations with our civilization and trade with our empire. Supposing that other nations were all to imitate your evil example and beseech me to present them each and all with a site for trading purposes, how could I possibly comply? This is also a flagrant infringement of the usage of my empire and cannot possibly be entertained. Regarding your nation's worship of the Lord of Heaven, it is the same religion as that of other European nations. Ever since the beginning of history, sage emperors and wise rulers have bestowed on China a moral system and inculcated a code which from time immemorial has been religiously observed by the myriads of my subjects. Confucianism, maybe Buddhism. There has been no hankering after heterodox doctrines. Even the European officials, missionaries, in my capital are forbidden to hold intercourse with Chinese subjects. They are restricted within the limits of their appointed residences and may not go about propagating their religion. The distinction between Chinese and barbarian is most strict, and your ambassador's request that barbarians shall be given full liberty to disseminate their religion is utterly unreasonable. Perhaps you yourself are ignorant of our dynastic regulations and had no intention of transgressing them when you expressed these wild ideas and hopes. If, after the receipt of this explicit decree, you lightly give ear to the representations of your subordinates and allow your barbarian merchants to proceed to Zhejiang or Tianjin with the object of landing and trading there, the ordinances of my celestial empire are strict in the extreme, and the local officials, both civil and military, are bound reverently to obey the law of the land. Should your vessels touch the shore, your merchants will assuredly never be permitted to land or to reside there, but will be subject to instant expulsion. In the event your barbarian merchants will have had a long journey for nothing, Do not say that you were not warned in due time. Tremblingly obey and show no negligence. A special mandate.